Hello, everyone. It's Royce here, and I want to welcome you all to the Royce in the House YouTube channel. I appreciate each and every one of you coming here. Do me a favor, hit that like or thumbs up button. It distributes the show to a wider audience. And if you happen to not already be subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the top bell icon, and that'll give you just a one-time. It's not going to bug you and drive you crazy. Give you a one-time notification that a new show is coming on. Okay. All right. Well, thanks so much. So tonight we've got an interesting topic. Now, this is a topic Michael and I have discussed previously many times, and I've had, I think, 4 shows on it. I did a short video on this show earlier in the week, and I listed all the shows that you could just click on and go watch that have to do with, me, talking about not only this topic, but other topics to do with Black Sabbath. There's some great shows there if you want to check them out. There's one called
we both been covering it on both channels and together here on the stream
and
right
together,
from the get-go.
Right.
I remember when that article came out where it was mainly with the release of Geezer Butler's book, and there was an interview with him, how there was a softening between him and Bill Ward, and the only obstacle was OZZIE, and somehow Sharon was either kind of interrupted in it all, and there was a connection, and all seemed to be forgiven. And ever since that story hit, both Royce and I have been with a wing and a prayer, folks.
Oh, I know.
Right?
We've been trying, because let's face it, 2003, 2023, 2024, OZZIE had to cancel all his concerts because of the pain he's living with. He
couldn't even perform at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Well,
he just sat there.
That's right. Well, Michael, this goes back several years, I think to 2006 maybe. Yeah, he had an ATV accident and it busted up his, some bones in his neck, his spine. He had all kinds of pins and rods and everything put in. Well, about the same time, he came down with Parkinson's disease, came down with Parkinson's. And so anyway, he was healing. He was getting better. He got up at one night to go to the bathroom. He was walking back to his bed, pitch black, real dark. And he missed the bed and fell flat on his face. And he could just tell he'd busted all those rods and pins loose. And Sharon goes, "OZZIE, is that you? What happened?" And OZZIE says, "Call an ambulance." He knew he'd really hurt himself, So anyway, so he's been in pain for a long time. And I just found out today, I didn't realize this when I put this show together, that OZZIE can't walk. He can't even walk. So I don't know.
Right.
That's
what I based my video on, but I did my video like a day after you did.
No, I know.
So
great.
I had a little bit additional information regarding that. And
that's
also there was some so first of all, this whole idea of Black Sabbath reuniting for a concert, yes, of course I'm in favor of it. Oh boy, yes. Okay, this is what both Royce and I wanted. However,
how could you not be, right?
However, there has been some scuttlebutt, even since I did my video, that, OZZIE absolutely can't walk.
No, it's over.
And it's like they've even announced that he can't walk. This is since when you and I did our video, right?
That's exactly right.
But on top of all of that, the day before OZZIE announced this through Sharon, of course, he swore that he would not go up there in a wheelchair. He would not come on that stage in a wheelchair. So maybe there's been conjectures. I've been following this quite a bit on the internet here, folks. There's been conjectures that the reason that this lineup is so huge, right, is because if OZZIE can't do this, the fans will have gotten such a treat anyway, even without Black Sabbath or OZZIE.
Yeah.
Now,
I thought maybe he was doing much better. I mean, they say his voice is strong as ever.
That's what I'm hearing. Yeah,
that's what I'm hearing. But I really didn't know that he was like completely crippled now from the Parkinson's. So it's going to be hard to it's going to be interesting to see how it all comes off. Anything can happen. I was reading an article on today, and there was a chat to that article. And somebody was saying he'll come out and mumble a few words, and then they'll whisk him away.
Right.
And well, that would be a real bummer, man.
Remember, leading up to this, Sharon, in the midst of her doing her magic to get him nominated, because she was the instigator of that and has deep connections into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I'm not saying he didn't deserve it, but I'm not a Sharon fan. Okay, so while all of that was happening, of course, like you and I have reported, Royce, OZZIE kept saying, well, I want to do like a mini tour. And then you'd hear her saying, over my dead body in another interview. Then he'd go, well, I'd like to do 3 or 4 shows. And she'd go like, over your dead body, and then finally there was some talk about him. How about a residency? And that was the last thing. It fizzled out. We haven't heard anything about that idea. And now all of a sudden, a major show, And
well,
Go ahead, Royce. I'm sorry.
Well, no. I was interrupting you, but just what's interesting is Black Sabbath did a final farewell tour, and OZZIE was in that tour, but drummer Bill Ward was not there. Bill Ward was not there. And that has bothered OZZIE to the point where it's almost been an obsession to do another show or concert tour or whatever, at least a show with all of the original lineup. Now, the drummer that played for them in place of Bill Ward, I think that was some kind of financial contractual dispute, was Tommy Clufetis. And you heard me bring him up many times, Michael. What an amazing drummer. He is OZZIE's drummer. And when OZZIE's playing with Black Sabbath, if Bill Ward's not there, then Clufetis is there because he already knows all the songs. But he's amazing. But anyway, it wasn't the original. So OZZIE wanted to do a final with the original. And he always said he never really did a proper farewell to the fans, said goodbye properly to them, and thanked them so much for being fans. So anyway, so Black Sabbath and
the
OZZIE,
fact that they never did have a final reunion tour because Bill Ward wasn't there to begin with. So
that's
me,
that's right.
I don't care how great of a drummer the guy was. It wasn't Black Sabbath anymore to me. And Royce and I, he's a bigger OZZIE fan than I am, but I am a fan of OZZIE, and quite lately kind of becoming a bigger fan of his solo career, mainly because of that wonderful album. It's got me re-looking at his stuff. He always seemed kind of like candy-ass heavy metal to me. The pop soda version of heavy metal. And and it's like, I don't know, but I wouldn't turn his songs off on the radio, Royce. I just wouldn't buy the album, right? But what really bothers me here, and this was kind of the end of my video, and I know I might be getting some pushback from you, because you are a much bigger OZZIE fan than I am.
No,
I would never argue with your point of view because he is big. I concur with that. But I hate it that he is going to get up there and supersede Black Sabbath and do a set of his hits, and then Black Sabbath comes on.
That's
bullshit. I hate that. I hate that.
Yeah. Oh, that's the way they've got it. They've written it up that OZZIE's going to come on and do a few songs from his solo career.
Yeah, I smell a Sharon in. Yeah, I smell a Sharon somewhere. Don't you?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh my God! Because it's all about OZZIE, and the thing is, the reason I am not as big a fan of his solo career as Royce, and again, I stipulate, may be very outnumbered in this. This is only my opinion.
Right.
But Black Sabbath was never as good without Ozzy Osbourne, and Ozzy Osbourne was never as good without Black Sabbath. So they have the big freaking band of the century to go up there. They need to go up united, keep egos out of this, and give us a Sabbath concert. You know,
that's exactly right, Michael. But I will say this, that there's been all these other people. I think you even had a recent poll on it that's saying with Black Sabbath after Ozzy left.
Right.
I don't buy any of their albums. I only buy the stuff with Ozzy, Black Sabbath stuff.
That's all. That's all I'm interested in.
I accidentally ordered one that had someone else singing on it, and it was an accident. I thought I knew which ones were which, but to me, I like Ozzy solo better than I like Sabbath with any of these other singers.
Yeah. Well, okay, and to me, it was like it's a draw. So we're not too far off. To me, it's like I don't think Well, actually, you know what? Now let me think about that, Royce. Okay. You're saying you liked Ozzy solo better than Sabbath with even Ronnie James Dio. Is what you're saying?
With any of them, yes. Although I respect Ronnie James Dio's talent.
No, so do I. We've talked about that.
No, we have.
That, okay, stated that way. I agree with you. He came closer to the prize.
Oh yeah,
but never quite hitting it. And he did some. Again, he did some great stuff.
Oh my God!
Just they're putting him up like he's Elvis Sabbath, and the rest of them are Black.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take Patient Number 9, Diary of a Madman, Crazy Train, all of that stuff. No More Tears. I loved a lot of the song. I love that whole album, No More Tears. That dates back quite a ways right after.
Yeah,
but I mean, those are great albums.
Yeah, they are. And they're the exact albums that I was talking about when I say, it's kind of like pop, diet heavy metal. You've got regular heavy metal and diet heavy metal. You can consume twice as much and still maintain that slim figure that you've always wanted. And but at the same time, damn it, they are freaking infectious songs.
Yes,
they're well crafted albums. Ozzy sings great on them. It's just it's just where's the Black Sabbath, man? Not quite there,
Even the last one he did, Patient Number 9, how amazing was that? All the guest artists. I mean, Eric Clapton, Jeff Beck. I mean, it was like a who's who of virtuoso guitar players played on that album with him.
It's Zakk my Wylde. Favorite Ozzy album.
Tony Iommi did a couple. Zakk Wylde did 3 or 4. Who was a regular
Eric Clapton, Jeff Beck.
Jeff Beck. It was like
Taylor Hawkins' last recording.
Taylor Hawkins, that's right.
Yeah.
I mean, what an and it's a double album set.
It's a miracle album. It's a great album. It's my favorite album he ever did. It's the one that kind of brought me back into your side of thinking a bit, Royce.
The Ozzy fold.
Black
Sabbath and Ozzy are back for a final concert along with an incredible lineup. And we got to talk about the lineup a little bit. Okay, so Black Sabbath goes all the way back to the beginning for their final show. Featured the original lineup of the band, includes, of course, Ozzy Osbourne, Tony Iommi, Geezer Butler, Bill Ward. Variety reported. The one night only, I don't know how they're going to fit all these people in a one night. It's going to be like a 24-hour show, I think.
Oh, I know.
The one night only charity gig is scheduled.
I got to stretch. But I'm still on, Royce. Okay.
Right on. Yeah.
Sorry, folks. We usually have 1 or 2 people more up here, and I can sneak off.
I know.
I do it because my back, and I just did my own live stream, and I need to stretch just for a moment, but I'm still on. So
and it was excellent, I might add.
Oh, thanks, Royce. I appreciate that.
No, go ahead. Stretch your back. Okay, the one night only charity gig is scheduled to take place in the band's hometown of Birmingham. in the UK. On July 5th of this year, the event will be held at Via Park. Okay. Held at Via Park in the city. Ozzy Osbourne says, I can't walk. He made that. Sharon actually reported it, but Ozzy said he can't walk in an interview. And so that was the Sirius XM show, Ozzy's Boneyard this week. Ozzy Osbourne said that he can no longer walk. His wife, Sharon, said the Parkinson's disease has affected his legs, but assured fans that his voice remains as strong as ever. Okay. So, yeah, that was a new one to me. I knew he was, I knew he'd be in a lot of pain if he tried to walk.
Well, and recent footage of him while he could still walk practically made him look like, oh Lord! I mean, it was painful to watch him on crutches.
Right.
Absolutely painful to watch, Royce.
Painful. Oh my God. Well, the concert. Let's see. What else was I going to say about it? Well, tickets are going to go on sale. This is in England. I won't be there. February 14th and. By Ticketmaster and Live Nation, couple of great ones.
Oh, there's good news.
Yeah, the Live Nation, right?
Not
okay, so, right. I know. So, as part of this huge celebration of over 50 years after the release of their self-titled first album, Black Sabbath, credited with inventing heavy metal, will hit the stage following a short. We mentioned this earlier, a short solo set from Ozzy, followed by Sabbath closing the show. Okay. So what's interesting though is now listen, after they finish their sets, Ozzy and Sabbath, what's going to happen is you're going to have, and I don't know how they're going to fit all these people in there.
I know.
Anthrax, Alice in Chains, Halestorm, Lamb of God, Mastodon, Pantera, and I think Zakk Wylde plays in Pantera, or he toured with them. Slayer and many others will also be part of that massive night. Now, I can't even imagine what could follow if they pull this off and all these bands come on and play. Even if it's 2 or 3 songs, they're going to be doing Sabbath songs. They might do some Ozzy solo stuff. But there's also a lot of individuals showing up. And this reminds me to the tribute to Hendrix or well, I call it tribute to Hendrix. I don't think that was the official name, but all of these individuals showed up. I mean, I saw Jeff Beck there in concert, Ernie Isley, who was mentioned earlier, and just so many, phenomenal guitar players showed up to play Jimi Hendrix songs. And that's what this kind of reminds me of, because there's going to be people showing up such as Billy Corgan from the Smashing Pumpkins, David Draiman from Disturbed, Duff McKagan, bass player and / guitarist of Guns N' Roses, Frank Bello from Anthrax, Fred Durst from Limp Bizkit, Jake E. Lee, Jonathan Davis from Korn, K.W. Downing, Lzzy Hale, Mike Bordin, Faith No More, Rudy Sarzo, Sammy Hagar, Scott Ian.
Who let him in the back door?
Tom Morello, Rage Against the Machine, Wolfgang Van Halen, and Zakk Wylde. I mean, is this not just crazy?
Well, it's insane.
I know.
It's insane.
All the profits from the night will go to the following charities: Cure Parkinson's, Birmingham's Children's Hospital, and Acorns Children's Hospice. It's hard to even say that. That's so sad. A children's hospice supported by Ashton Villa. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I got a question. I got a question regarding that. I'm wondering. Okay, that's a wonderful set of charities, and all the profits going to that.
Right.
I got a question for Ticketmaster and Live Nation.
Right. Okay.
How much of your 70% increase over what the tickets are, what the bands are asking for, are you going to donate to these charities? Are you doing this for free? If you are,
that's a great point.
Color me impressed and quite surprised, because I'm willing to bet Ticketmaster and Live Nation ain't feeling so charitable, Royce.
No, I hear you. Let me make one quick comment. Johnny L has joined us, and I just put a
Johnny.
I just put a link up, Johnny.
Yeah, get your ass up here. That way I can get up and down.
If you'd like to come on the panel, where the hell did that link go? I'm going to put it up again.
That's the problem with having your own stream just prior to coming up here, Royce. I have to sit my ass down on that one. You know, if I'm not on screen, there's nothing to watch but my fireplace going. You know,
right.
So I've always appreciated that you've afforded me the opportunity to get up and down. We occasionally tell people why. I have a bad back that sitting in, you know, if I was sitting on the couch, there'd be no problem. It's this particular chair, which is ergonomically designed to destroy me, you know? So it's fine when I'm working on the computer and I'm back, you know, it doesn't bother me. I can rest, I can change and do. And so it also forces me to get up and quit doing computer stuff, right?
Yeah,
so,
I saw Dawson out there. I just wanted to mention Dawson that link. You know,
absolutely.
Yeah,
we're
Johnny freaking ill. How
Good
you
evening,
doing, brother?
Everybody.
Woo, 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 Johnny.
Hey, listen, that's gonna be epic with Black Sabbath coming. But
man,
the thing is how is what's this? I lost train of thought now.
OZZIE?
I was hey, what the hell's his name? I can't remember now.
Ozzy Osbourne.
Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah. Okay.
I have my mind other places because I was fiddling around with my two computers and stuff like that. So
my mind.
Don't worry about it, Johnny. I had a brain freeze on my own stream just before this. So we're very forgiving.
I'm 67, so what the hell? But how?
You're the kid in the group, son.
Pardon? What'd you say, Michael?
I said you're the kid in the group so far.
Right. So, how are they going to manage that because he's not in good health?
Well,
I have a lot of doubts about that, Johnny.
One of the band's leaders that's there is going to be kind of the MC. I think that maybe is going to kind of run roughshod over the whole thing and keep it semi-organized. Okay.
And there's also chatter as to whether Bill Ward is really up to the challenge, and will there be enhanced drum tracks and all of that to supplement the fact that he can just maybe, you know, do the your basic what is that called, backbeat, you know? You've got your 8s going on the cymbal, 4 on the floor, and a snare hitting the 2 and the 4 beat, you know, that type of thing. So maybe that.
Thank a couple of people that are here now. Vinyl Cretin, thanks.
Hey, how you doing?
He says Johnny L is here to tell us about Black Sabbath. That's exactly
I don't know.
Right.
I mean,
you know,
I know a bit about Black Sabbath.
Storm Cop 55 has joined us. Thank you so much.
And
how you doing, James? I saw that earlier, but I couldn't interrupt Royce. He was, you know, given the data that we need for tonight's show. So, but I did see you earlier. I'm sorry. I saw your grrr remark. You missed my stream, didn't you? I'm so sorry that happened, brother.
I feel a little guilty. I don't know what happened. You know, I'm a huge football fan. Don't watch like I used to, but I always watch the Super Bowl. And somehow I spaced that out. I thought it was next weekend, but I think I heard that last weekend that it was this weekend. When the time flies so fast, I lost track. I probably
now that doesn't go with the rumors that I heard that you're just such a dedicated content creator that you couldn't let down.
Well, I know
fans that wanted to see it. You know,
that's a big part of it, and see you guys too. You know? Storm Cop's here. Appreciate seeing you.
What the hell would I do on a Sunday night if you weren't streaming, Royce?
My SA Gringo Pines is here. What would you do? I don't really know. You know, I'd be sitting on the couch with my wife watching TV probably. And haven't watched football in 30 years. Well, you know, I played a little football in high school. You know, things like that, and was always a fan, but. Had a friend who had 5 season tickets to the Niners. His dad had them, but his dad rarely went, so he gave them to Joe, and we all went. And then I had some friends that had,
No, go ahead.
Sorry,
go on.
No, I'm just rambling. Go ahead.
I'm just wondering myself. I assume OZZIE is up for this, and he's the one that maybe started this, or
OZZIE's been obsessed with the final concert.
Are they pushing him to do this?
No, OZZIE's doing this on. He's been obsessed with doing a final show.
That's the perfect word. Yeah. Because Sharon has done everything but nail his ass to the bed, and it's this one fun. I mean, he listens to her, because if he didn't, he'd be planning a world tour. Whether they brought him out in a cot or an iron lung. Can you imagine they bring him out in an iron lung because his voice is still good, and the spotlight down on him, and what is this that stands before me? Oh my God!
The bottom line of this is that as long as OZZIE is good for it, and he makes him happy, and that might be his last concert. You never know. But it makes him happy and everything. That's what counts the most.
I think he's willing to bite the bullet and to die on stage. He's just one of those performers.
His wishes, then.
Yeah,
and if that's the way he wants to go out, more power to him. Everybody has a right to live their life. No,
that's right. Well, tell me if you guys agree with this statement. I think in these times of the making of Led Zeppelin and all this stuff that's out there on IMAX. I have a feeling that this thing is going to have legs with all these different performances. It's almost like a Woodstock in one night, And I think we're going to see. I think we're going to see movies, and all kinds of new albums being released off of this, and I think they're going to turn it into something that'll be a hell of a retirement plan for everybody involved.
But aren't all proceeds going? And will those proceeds?
What? That's an interesting point. Is it just the proceeds from the concert sales tickets, or is it the proceeds?
From everything.
Perpetuity. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's talk of people wanting a live event pay-per-view thing. There's also talk, in the chats around the internet that they want to see a DVD of this. And of course, if they do that, of course, you're going to get the DVD. It'll be a 30 DVD set of every single band known to man. And will Black Sabbath fans such as myself, who just love the band but not necessarily heavy metal as a genre as my favorite, will we be satisfied with that?
I don't know. I like Dan Goucher's comment here. Sabbath Funko Pops at the very least. But it's hard to imagine all proceeds will go to those charities. Like I said, I could see, concert ticket sales, or not even the ticket sales, because Ticketmaster and Live Aid are going to be getting a big share of that. But I mean, whatever profit the bands might have made that night, I could see that going to the charities. But it's hard for me to imagine later Blu-ray DVDs and all the albums that may come out. Hard for me to imagine that all going to charity. I hope it's true. I
do too.
I'm sure we'll all find out eventually. Yeah.
And maybe they're looking at it like, okay, we're just going through it. The best, situation is to go through Ticketmaster like everybody else. And whatever we make out of it, we're giving it to them. But again, I will bring up.
That's what I'm wondering.
If Ticketmaster is willing to do this big, where's their charitable nature?
Well, you know what?
Right.
To donate the proceeds from the concert, I could see it. I could see that, but every time another album of Sabbath comes out on DVDs and Blu-rays, because there will be no end to that. If they they probably know that, like all the proceeds, giving everything that they're gonna publish from now on.
To
charity.
Pretty heavy.
I mean, people are kind-hearted, but sometimes people are. There are some people that aren't that kind-hearted.
Aren't that kind-hearted, right?
You know what I mean?
Well,
now I would be
talking about millions. You're talking about millions of dollars if they.
I would be interested in a limited DVD of just Sabbath and Ozzy. That would be nice.
No, that would be nice. I just hope Ozzy's Ozzy's got the stamina with the pain he might be in. Because it could get cut short after a couple of songs. Ozzy's part of it anyway.
There's so much wishful thinking coming from Ozzy. It makes me doubt that this could happen. It does make me doubt it.
I know. Well, the heavy metal pioneers, are going to headline a spectacular one-day festival at Via Park featuring dozens of bands they inspired, and I think that's a great statement, including Metallica, Pantera, Slayer, Anthrax. I mentioned them all earlier. The concert will mark the first time that Black Sabbath's original lineup, Ozzy Osbourne, Iommi, Butler, Ward, have played together in 20 years.
Wow.
Osbourne has largely been forced to stop touring due to a combination of Parkinson's and spinal injuries. He'll play a short solo set is what's planned before joining his bandmates. So,
and according to Bill Ward, Royce, only 4 songs for Black Sabbath. That
I don't think I read that. Okay, that's interesting.
Yep. I saw an interview where he said, yes, I see us getting up there and doing about 4 songs together.
Okay. Well, maybe Ozzy will exit after that, and someone else will, some of these other guest people that are coming in will stand in for him and stuff. I don't really know. If
the rumors about Bill Ward being limited, look for an early exit of Bill Ward too. You may have just Geezer Butler and Tony Iommi up there jamming with a lot of superstars.
Right, right. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so Sharon, his wife, Ozzy's wife, told BBC News he's determined to put on one final show. He's doing great, she said. He's doing really great. He's so excited about this, about being with the guys again and all his friends. It's exciting for everyone. However, she said the concert would definitely be the 76-year-old's final show, and I do believe that. It took a few years for him to get here.
Hey, Royce, put up Doc's latest comment here.
Okay, hold on a second.
I love this.
Dr. Ricks.
And you know what? I think he brings up a damn good point.
One last drug. Yeah, okay. I hope he doesn't fall or something.
Good one, Doc. I love it.
No, that's a great one.
That's possible.
Yeah, I hope it all goes off smoothly. Like I said, Sharon says his voice is strong. I don't know what they're going to do. What are the 4 or 5 videos I've made about Black Sabbath and Ozzy wanting to do this show? Some of them, they're really some fun ones there. I did one on Tony Iommi's Stag Night, and of all people, John Bonham from Led Zeppelin was his best man, and that's a really funny show. It really is. What takes place that night when they're out drinking. But anyway, so that was a good one, and then some other ones I did on Ozzy's health issues and trying to get a concert together, and they just couldn't pull it off, and they just so much stuff. I've been covering this, and Michael's always been with me. We've been covering this story for like over a year, and I really never thought we'd get to this point, where it was actually scheduled and everybody's all in, including
Bill. Both you and I just kept commenting on it, about it, and we're both big Sabbath fans. I mean, when it comes to Ozzy and Sabbath, the original 4 were huge. We have no disagreements about whatsoever.
No.
So we were hoping, but we were also informed. And I'm pretty good. One thing I've gotten good on my channel, Royce, because I share news stories from time to time.
Right.
I'm getting real good at reading between the lines of one interview versus another. And that's what kept me going. I think that's what kind of kept you going. We would hear him say, and then she said, and he said, and you just couldn't shut him up. And that's why I loved Doc's comment. Maybe he'll just decide, yeah, baby, I'm back, and just leap around the scrimmage.
One
Eric's comment was a good comment. True too. You know what? It's sad, but it's nice to see that all the original lineup is going to be there.
All the
which
original
is very rare sometimes. It's very rare that all the original.
It's super rare. I mean, they've been together.
Somebody give me a bat.
Okay, so
that's all you need is a bat.
I just want to say that one of the shows that I did, if you ever look at one of my playlists, OZZIE sitting in a great big throne, like a king's throne, and the caption of the show is OZZIE's come back from hell. And to be honest with you, I was talking about his new 2024 tour he had planned and everything, all of which got canceled because of his health issues. But anyway, so OZZIE didn't have a chance to say goodbye to his friends, to his fans, and so he's been wanting this opportunity to say goodbye. And
don't forget that I forget the name of the festival. There was a big festival. He was going to show up after canceling that tour, and he canceled that.
He had to cancel that, and I can't remember
folks,
the name of it
if you're seeing doubt or hearing doubt from Royce and I, we've got a lot of information that we've accrued over the last. Royce said it, over a year, and something isn't sitting quite right here. I have my doubts.
There's no telling how little OZZIE's going to do, but another thing he said was he feels there's not been a full stop until he's done this. This is his full stop. He added, "I'm not going to get up there and do a half-hearted, looking for sympathy, expletive point in that. I'm not going to go up there in a freaking wheelchair."
That's what I was alluding to early. That was the end of it.
How is he gonna go up there then in his condition if he can't walk?
Right, he can't walk, and he's not going to go up in a wheelchair.
Maybe they'll carry him out like some pharaoh on a throne, and they got the bars on their shoulders carrying him out. Who knows?
Look. As soon as OZZIE comes.
Oh no, semi-naked maidens. Sorry, Johnny. Lots of them.
Oh, geez,
that would be better. That would be better.
As long once OZZIE goes on stage, the fans will go wild. So the fans will just go nuts as soon as he gets on there. So,
anybody buying a ticket to this, they are putty in his hands, John.
Right.
Well, the people that are going to go to the concert, they should keep their stub because that could be a collector's item for sure. I think, in my opinion. And to cherish that moment because you won't get a moment like that ever again.
No, never again. It's on as far as just Sabbath being there. It hinges on. It hinges on. Hey, Amin, how you doing, my friend?
Yeah, thanks for showing up, brother.
It's almost as legendary as Led Zeppelin reuniting with Jason Bonham.
Yeah.
All right. But they're not in the condition. Everybody was in fine form. Everybody was in top form for that concert, and I kind of am doubting that everybody is in top form. Obviously, OZZIE, as far as performance, isn't, and Bill Ward, I'm hearing. He's limited in what he can do after all of his medical problems and everything, and maybe he's just laid off drumming for the last decade, and it's going to take hell and high water to get him ready. I don't know. I haven't kept that close contact with Bill Ward unless it's something to do with Sabbath.
Right.
Maybe somebody in the peanut gallery knows more about that.
Well, maybe so. Eric, thank you for bringing up. Everybody hit the thumbs button. We always try to get that first 50 likes. The first 50. What happens is you get like a little turbocharge out there into the viewers. The algorithm pushes your show in front of people searching for content. the more likes you get, more thumbs up you get, they'll just keep pushing if you're getting them, fast enough. So anyway, it's all important. If there's anybody here that hasn't subscribed, or if there's anybody that's not here on the live chat later that watches the show, because you get so many more views after the show than during the show. But if there's anybody that watches the show later and isn't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, as well as that notification top bell icon. You'll get a one-time notification that the new show's coming on. But we're building the show. We appreciate everybody that watches. I did a short version of this same show 2 days ago, and it did really, really well. It did well.
Royce, since you're talking channel business, I want anybody who's come over from my channel, I ask them to please sub Royce up. This is my home away from home.
Thank you.
So
Michael.
even if you're watching this later, please sub Royce up. And I did want to cover what. Can I do a bit of shameless promotion here, Royce?
Absolutely, Michael.
Okay. I meant to do this on my stream.
The more shameless, the better.
I want to thank the entire tribe for the response. I did a tribute video for all of our fallen rockers about 6 weeks ago. And it looks like just before my stream, it's going to hit 225,000 views.
Oh, man.
So it has moved into the third spot on my channel as my third most popular video. So I couldn't have done it without you fine folks. I appreciate it. And back to our regularly scheduled program.
There's something about Michael being shameless that turns me on. I don't know.
I'm the Svengali of rock, my friend.
Shameless W.
You are in my power.
So anyway,
the
concert again is dubbed Back to the Beginning. We got Rage Against the Machine's guitar. I mentioned this earlier. We were wondering how they're going to keep this organized with so many people. Rage Against the Machine's guitarist, Tom Morello, is serving as the event's musical director. Okay.
Yeah.
And he's saying this is going to be one of the greatest heavy metal shows ever. Other acts in the lineup, I think I mentioned most of them before: Alice in Chains, Lamb of God. The concert will feature super groups where stars are, joining together. Wolfgang, Van Halen, Billy Corgan, Slash, all these individuals that are showing up. They'll be like forming their own little groups and coming up and playing Sabbath and OZZIE songs. So it's just going to be an endless amount of people. Sharon said they're going to be doing some Sabbath songs, some OZZIE songs. They'll all mix together. Different little groups will be coming up, but they're all icons. Thank you, Sharon. Sharon will keep us straight, So anyway, Sabbath formed in 1968. I saw them in 1971 at the Las Vegas Convention Center, and I can't even describe what that felt like. Honest to God, it was like nothing I'd ever felt before. I mean, it was like the music was so heavy, it was like weighting me down. I could barely even move. It's like crazy. I'm sorry, Johnny. What did you say?
Music there, Royce, that was holding it down.
Well, there might have been a combination of things. Okay. So anyway, they previously played a farewell tour to a sold-out audience of 16,000 people in the city's NEC Arena in 2017. The set consisted mainly of songs from the early days, all my favorites: War Pigs, NIB, Black Sabbath, Paranoid. They ended the show with the hit signature song Paranoid. The concert came at the end of an extensive, check this out, I didn't realize that tour was this long, 81-date world tour. And Osbourne thanked the fans for their support over the band's career, but 81-date tour. I have that double CD, that tour, and it's a good one. It was given to me along with a bunch of others. 160 CDs were given to me once. I've got to tell you something. What a journey we've had, Ozzy said. We started in 1968. Now it's 2017. I don't believe that, man. But you know what? we wouldn't survive if it wasn't for the fan base. Yeah, no doubt about that. So if you're a veteran fan, great. If you're new, welcome. But I can tell you enough how grateful we are. I can't tell you enough how grateful we are for your support, you know. So anyway, so following that concert, the 2017 farewell tour, starting to sound like a lot of other people now. OZZIE released 2 solo albums. Ordinary Man, which I don't have, Patient Number 9, which I have and love. Michael and I were talking about that earlier. The guest guitarists, I mean, you know, Eric Clapton, Jeff Beck. Let's see, who all was on that? You had, of course, Zakk Wylde, who's a regular guitar player for him, was on 3 or Tony Iommi even
Yep.
played guitar on one of the songs. It was just, it's an excellent album.
And we brought it up earlier. Taylor Hawkins' very last recordings were on that album. I pretty much saw it as the album. You know, wasn't that 2022 that it was released, or was that 2023?
Are you Patient Number 9?
I thought it was late in the year, so wouldn't that have made it 2022? If it was,
yeah, I think that was. I know I got it when it was still pretty fresh. It might have been early 2023.
Yeah. If it was in,
I can't really remember.
Yeah, if it was in 2023, it was one of the top albums. If it was released, if it was actually a release date, even if it's late, I always go by the release date. I would have given it album of the year for 2022. So you guys can do your research, and as a matter of fact, you know what, I'll take a look at it as Royce is talking. We'll get that information.
If you have time, check this out, because I heard it opened at #1 on the Billboard chart for albums.
Oh, did? Okay.
Yeah, I heard that. I you know, I'm not sure where. I read it somewhere. Yeah, too bad Chris Elliott isn't here. Yeah, no, I'm surprised. I expected to see Chris, and well, there is a Super Bowl play.
Which album? Sorry, I didn't get that in my ear. Which album was said as to be the #1?
Patient number 9.
Yeah, Patient Number 9. It's an excellent album. All the guest artists are it's just crazy.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, it was released in 2022, so that would make it the album of the year, as far as I'm concerned.
As far as I'm concerned, too.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, Ian, that's right.
Won Best Rock Album at the 65 Annual Grammy Awards, as far as how well it did, but critical reception. 4 out of 5 stars, 4 out of 5 stars, 3 out of 5, or 3.5 out of 5, 4 out of 5, 4 out of 5, 4 out of 5, straight across from All Music, The Guardian, The Independent, Kerrang, Metal Hammer, NME, and Wall of Sound, 7 out of 10. So it was very well received.
It was very well received, and I thought it was excellent.
I'm telling you, I was was the big surprise when I covered that album. I covered the whole thing, did a whole video, reviewed it and everything. It really blew me away on how good that album was.
I sat down, listened to the double album, and read all the words as the songs were playing, because they're all inside on the sleeve or something. But well, anyway,
and that was the one album, because before that, especially back in the Lou Mars days, when he was a co-host, Royce and I would go back and forth, kind of hit and giggle, because I wasn't such an OZZIE fan, and I could see he was, right? And then this album came out, and it kind of pulled me over from the dark side a bit for OZZIE. And I'm now re-looking at all his catalog. I'm very interested in it. And I think I'm in a headspace where I can, it is light metal on one hand, but I'm a sucker for great melody. And I think that's the one thing missing in metal is great melody overall. So who am I to criticize OZZIE for that? So you may be seeing a turn. I was bitten by a wolf, Johnny, and things haven't been the same.
Right. Well, like I said, I made the comment earlier. I like Ozzy's solo more than I like Black Sabbath. Black Sabbath with all of the singers that followed Ozzy, because to me, Ozzy is the voice of Black Sabbath. Period. Sorry.
Oh yeah, I
sorry.
agree.
You know,
bar none. Absolutely.
Bar none. Yeah.
And
I
gotta
go ahead, Michael. Go ahead.
I was going to say the poll you mentioned that I did on my channel. I mean, he of course won his category, and of course Ronnie James Dio won his category.
Right.
And there were two other categories because there was three categories altogether. There were 9 lead singers for Black Sabbath.
Oh God, it's insane.
And Ozzy. Dio creamed his lot even more than Ozzy creamed his lot. But when they were put up against together, I think it was 87% voting for Ozzy.
Right.
And this is thousands of votes. So that's that says something. Yeah.
No, that actually says a lot. And I want to say hi to Frank James. Okay. Frank, good to see you here, brother. Yeah, thanks for stopping in and saying hi to us and watching the show. We really appreciate you. Okay, so I agree. You know, I thought I had it straight in my head which of the albums were Ozzy singing. You know, and I ordered a couple of Black Sabbath albums, and as it turns out, one of them was Ronnie James Dio. And once I realized that, I probably owned it for 6 or 8 months before I even listened to it. And I actually liked it. And I think he's got a great voice, a great technical voice, but he's not Ozzy Osbourne.
I concede there is a large Black Sabbath fandom that includes all versions, or certainly a couple of versions of Black Sabbath equally. Some even slightly favoring, say, the Dio days. Or the Frank days, you know, but to me, it's Ozzy. It's just Ozzy, man.
Yeah,
and it ain't Sabbath without him. And albums that I'm collecting, I have 4 of them so far, will be all the albums that have Ozzy on them. I'm not interested in the others, but that's my opinion.
Exactly. No,
it's just my opinion.
Right. Yeah. Right. Hey, well, listen, guys. I think it's probably time for like closing comments. And I guess I'll start off. I'm looking forward to this taking place. I hope nothing happens. I hope Ozzy doesn't hurt himself or anything like that before the show starts, or worse, you know. But I'm looking forward to it, you know, because we all know we'll see some kind of a movie on this later, you know, and there'll definitely be Blu-rays out and stuff like that, and maybe even something bigger, you know. I mean, you know, so I'm looking forward to it. I hope it comes off as planned. I hope Ozzy's strong, goes through with it, does his solo stuff, then gets back with Black Sabbath, and they do a set. And I just hope it all goes off well.
Yeah, ditto. I feel the same way, Royce. I hope it goes off well. I've got my disappointments and I have my doubts. And we've discussed that tonight.
I know. Yeah.
But you know, Ozzy is in love with his art, and part of that art is performance. And you know, we've talked about this could even be dangerous for him if he actually makes it to the show. Right. But even if it was dangerous for him, Royce and I think we both concurred that the man has a right to go out the way he wants to.
No, that's exactly right. Yeah,
he is a legend, generally speaking, but he is a major legend for me because of Black Sabbath. Right there, we don't need to discuss his solo career. That puts him in the pantheon of Mount Olympian gods.
Absolutely, Michael.
Boom.
I love it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Royce, what's up for next week? You know, Dr. Rick, I'm not 100% sure yet. I'm going to be giving that a lot of thought in the next couple of days, because I've been trying to get the notification for the show and what the show is going to be out several days in advance. to let everybody know. And
we kind of lost touch with each other as a panel this week too.
Yeah,
I think it may have a lot to do with the Super Bowl, folks. So we're caught left-footed here, but I can guarantee you, if you don't make it, man, you're going to miss a hell of a show.
That's right.
Plain and simple. We don't believe in doing bad shows around here.
No, we don't.
Ain't in our makeup, folks.
Right.
We only do good ones. You know?
Just good ones. Just good ones. Well, okay. Everybody in the chat starting to say goodbye to one another, and I'm going to say goodbye to everybody. And,
to all of you.
Michael, thank you so much for being partner in crime here. And Johnny, we really appreciate you showing up tonight.
Yes.
Always a pleasure. You know, I've told you in the past, you always have a home here. Okay.
Every time, Johnny. Every time.
Yeah. I just a short thing. I'm down here and I'm on my primary PC now, but I was working on my mini PC that I got, and for some reason something screwed up, but the time was like it said 6 p.m. on the screen. I'm going, okay, I got lots of time. Then when I went upstairs to look at the clock, it said 9:30 p.m. or whatever. Yeah. Oh shit!
I hear you. I hear you.
I'd like to tell everybody, ask everybody to subscribe to Michael and Royce. Great guys.
Thank you, sir.
Great channels.
Yes.
And
thank you.
And as for Ozzy Osbourne, there's only one Ozzy Osbourne.
Only one.
Without Ozzy, no Black Sabbath whatsoever.
No. Exactly.
So the panel tonight, folks, concur wholeheartedly. You need Ozzy to make it Sabbath.
Right.
Actually, I'll even add an addendum to that. You need Ozzy Osbourne, Geezer Butler, Bill Ward, and Tony freaking Iommi to make it Black Sabbath.
It's just one of those bands, just like Led Zeppelin, you know.
Yep.
I want to thank Wyoming Dave for showing up. I haven't seen
Dave
in a little while, and I appreciate you joining us. Come back, brother. Come back. You're always welcome, Dave.
Yep. Every time.
Thank you, Piccolina. Peace, love, and understanding. Angela,
thanks so much for showing up at both streams tonight. Adam was there. All of you who showed up at my stream, thank you very much. I appreciate it. The stream went much better than I could have possibly anticipated.
It was excellent. I should have I should have had my picture of Ozzy with the bat in his mouth here, you know. I wonder if by chance I have that here somewhere.
That would be cool.
Yeah,
then people would get my give me a bat reference earlier.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm not going to have that. Well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. You never know. No, it's mostly Zeppelin and I have that somewhere. I just don't know where. It would take too long to find it now.
See how we can tease extra moments out of the stream, folks? You're looking at a professional panel. No, I'm serious. I mean, you couldn't get it any better than anywhere. I mean, think about it.
Okay, guys. Well, again, thank you
we are
so
doomed
much.
for greatness, Royce. We are doomed.
We had right, Michael. We had
I'm a believer, brother.
Wonderful chat here tonight. I love the chat. It's hard for me. How about Ozzy as Batman? I really dig the chat. You guys are fantastic. So anyway, thank you guys so much, and thanks, Michael. Thanks, Johnny L. And that's what's happening in Royce's show tonight. Thank you all so very much for joining us, and good night.
Good night, folks. We'll see you, Royce.
Good night.
See you, Royce.